Hello and welcome back to the Geordie Pig Investor channel. Today I'm going to share something really special, my best ever dividend day so far. It's one of those moments that really makes you stop and reflect on how far you've come. Especially because when I first started this journey, I never imagined I'd be earning this much in a single day just from dividend payments. And before I do end up revealing how much I did make on this one particular day, I'd love to hear your guesses in the comment section down below, as well as the most you've actually received in one day from dividend payments. When I started investing, my first dividend payment was just a few pence, literally pocket change. But I remember how excited that moment was. It made me realise that this actually works, that money can grow and work for you if you stay patient and consistent. Fast forward to now, 2 years later, and my dividend income has grown massively. Every single payout, no matter how small it was, has compounded over time and built momentum. That's what keeps me motivated, seeing that steady progress month on month. And as I continue to scroll through the dividends I've received since I started this journey just over 2 years ago, you can soon start to see how those dividend payments do really build up and they do start to snowball. And now as I fast forward closer to present date, you can see some of the bigger dividends that I have received. As you can see on the chart, my first dividend payment came back in September 2023, and for that entire month I ended up making £3.77. Since then, there's been a steady month-on-month progression leading up to where I am today. As you can see, going into 2024, I then started earning around £7 in January, up to £16 by February, and if we fast forward to around June time, we can see that I earned £60 last year. Then when we look at 2025, we can see how much faster that snowball has built up with, for example, comparing 2024 June of £60 to 2025 where I received £244, and then in this last month I've actually received my highest ever dividend paying month, receiving £289 in October. And don't get me wrong, some months are higher than others. As you can see, like in September, I did only receive £133 compared to say August where I received £234. But the overall trend is consistently upwards, and that's what really matters. Quick heads up, this one's worth paying attention to. I've teamed up with XTB UK as they are currently running a pretty awesome promotion where new users can get a free Rolls-Royce share just for signing up. Yes, it's that simple. All you need to do is click my link in the description down below, download the XTB app, open an account, verify your account, make your first deposit, and then you'll receive a free Rolls-Royce share. Remember that your capital is at risk, the value of stocks may fluctuate, and there is limited availability and T's and C's do apply. But it really is that simple, and the best part is XTB isn't just a trading platform, it's also a solid place to learn. They've got loads of free investing education, as well as keeping you up to date with the latest market news. You can see here the interface is clean, beginner friendly, and gives you access to both UK and global markets. There's over 6,600 stocks available on XTB alongside 1,800 ETFs. Plus, if you're in the UK, you can even open a stocks and shares ISA account, which means your investments can grow completely tax-free. And you'll even receive an industry high 4.25% interest on uninvested cash. If you want to grab your free share, make sure and use my referral link in the description down below. Just remember, as with any investment, your capital is at risk. The value of your investments may go up or down. There is limited availability and T's and C's apply, so make sure you're quick. This offer is only available for a limited time, and once all the free Rolls-Royce shares have been claimed, that's it, they're gone. So don't miss out. Most of the dividend stocks in my portfolio are actively increasing their payouts every year, meaning that even if I don't add any new money to the portfolio, it will still continue to grow even on its own. Right now, my portfolio's average 5-year dividend growth rate sits at 7.07%, which means it's comfortably outpacing inflation and compounding nicely over time. You can see that my portfolio has a blend of aggressive dividend growth stocks like Zoetis, Visa and MasterCard, but then I also have some higher dividend payers like Blue Owl Capital, Legal & General and Greencoat UK Wind. By having a mix of both, I feel my portfolio strikes the perfect balance, providing steady income now that keeps me motivated, while still allowing for long-term growth so it continues to build year after year. If you're unsure on the app that I'm using in today's video to display all of my different dividend stocks, it is Snowball Analytics. If you are also a very serious dividend focused investor, then please check out my link in the description down below and you can receive a 10% discount when purchasing Snowball Analytics, and you'll actually receive a 2-week free trial as well, so you can try it out for yourself first before buying it. Before we have a look at my best ever dividend paying day, let's just have a closer look at the different stocks within my portfolio and what percent of the overall dividends I've received they've paid out. In first place, we have JGGI making up nearly 10% of all the dividends I've received so far, paying me a total of £208. This is then closely followed by Vici Properties at £193, which is around 8.7% of all the dividends I've received. And then in third place is Greencoat UK Wind, as they've currently paid me £171 in dividends, taking up 7.77% of all the dividend payments I've received in my portfolio. It's going to be really interesting to see how these evolve over the next few years. JGGI is actually one of the largest positions in my portfolio, making up over 15%, and since it's my main dividend focused ETF, I plan to keep averaging into the fund on a monthly basis. So looking ahead, I've no doubt that this one is probably going to remain near the top of the pile. And that brings me to the highlight of this video, my best ever dividend day. The first stock that paid me was my Coinbase ETP, stock ticker COII. This fund has had a tough time, being down over 5% over the last month, but this is heavily down to the underlying asset performing pretty poorly recently. I have the Coinbase ETP in my portfolio because I'm very bullish on Bitcoin and crypto over the next few years, and Coinbase's price is heavily influenced by this. I feel it's one way for me to gain exposure to this part of the market within my ISA and still have the dividend benefit. As you can see, I own 200 shares of the stock at an average price of £3.51 per share, but you can see that my overall capital gain is down £77.72. Having said this, I have received a very tasty £131.14 in dividends from them, so overall my total profit on the stock is £53.42. If I don't add to my position, we can still see that I'm on track to receive around £470 in dividends over the next 12 months, thanks to that massive yield at 67%. This month, my Coinbase ETP paid me £38.75. The next stock that paid me was my Tesla ETP, stock ticker TSLD. This one has actually performed pretty well over the last month, being up 5.85%, and if we zoom out to the last 3 months, it's been on an absolute tear, being up 29.51%. And this is just the price performance alone. If we have a look at the performance including the dividends, we can see it's actually up over 44% over the last 3 months. And considering the Vanguard S&P 500 has only been up 9% over this period, which is still fantastic gains, it just shows how phenomenally well TSLD has been performing. Overall, my position is up over 50% when including my dividends alongside the capital gain. And if I don't add to my position any further over the next 12 months, I can expect to receive £525 in dividend payments, and on the 10th of October, they paid me £43.31. The final payment to bring me my best ever day of dividends was a payment from my biggest individual stock holding, and that is Greg's, stock ticker GRG. We can see that they did actually have quite a good start to this month, but then over the last few days it has dropped back off, so they are only up 2.93% over this period. If we zoom out and look at the year-to-date chart, we can see they're down over 40%, and I did actually start buying the stock at around £21 per share, but since then I've worked very hard to average down, and we can see that now I have an average cost at £17.16. My yield on cost is just over 4%, so I can expect to make £172.50 in dividends over the next 12 months. And unfortunately, right now, this one is slightly down, being down £81.50, but I'm hoping that going into the winter months, Greggs is going to have a resurgence in price and I'm going to be back into the green. On the 10th of October, Greggs paid me £43.70. And with that final dividend payment on the 10th of October, it brought my final daily total to £125.76. That might not sound like a huge amount of sum, but for me, it's a massive milestone. Before this week, I'd never received over £100 in a single day, and within just a few days, it actually happened twice. 4 days earlier, I got £102.42, and then this £125.76 payment came through and topped it. It's the most I've ever made in a single day from my portfolio, and honestly, it feels incredibly rewarding. It's not just about the number, it's about what it represents. Steady growth, consistency, and the real power of compounding starting to show. And the best part is knowing that as long as I stay consistent with my investments, these kind of days will become more and more common, and these totals will keep climbing year after year. My ultimate goal has always been to one day live off my dividends completely and to have my investments cover my living expenses and give me full financial freedom. And to stay motivated, I personally use the My Goal feature on Snowball Analytics to track my progress. So as you can see on here, it predicts that in the next 13 years, I'm going to be able to hit my dividend escape velocity and be able to earn over £2,000 on a monthly basis at a growing rate. Very exciting to see, and it even outlines what you are predicted to make year after year on that journey towards the end goal. So that's my best ever dividend day so far, and just one more step towards financial independence. If you're on your own dividend journey, remember, it doesn't matter how small you start, it's about staying consistent and letting time do the heavy lifting. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with someone who's just getting started. What I will say is that it isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, but if you do stick at it and you look at it over the long term, it's worth every step. Thanks for watching. For now, this is the Geordie Pig Investor, over and out.